How to combat price objections. Your price is too high. These are the 5 most dreaded words for salespeople, the number one problem that haunts them. Price objections are a daily reality in sales. You hear lots of them. You're not the first generation of salespeople to deal with price objections, nor will you be the last. The fundamental reality of price objections is that buyers have a closer eye on what they're giving than on what they're receiving. They're thinking more about the money leaving their company than the solution they're receiving from you. They perceive an inequity in what they sacrifice for what they gain. When it comes to countering price objections, you want to have the right frame of mind. One strategy is to slow down the process. Your 2 biggest enemies in dealing with price objections are time and emotion. Buyers know that if they push you on time, you will make an emotional decision that will benefit them. You need time and distance to make a good selling decision. Another strategy to build your confidence is to ask yourself, if my deal is that bad, why am I still in the game? When a customer tells you about the great deal that the competition offers, ask yourself, why didn't the customer jump on that great deal instead of telling me about it? For some reason, the deal stinks and the buyer has decided not to go for it. If that's the case with your buyer, why should you have to be cheaper? In a similar vein, if your product is better than the competition, why should your price have to be lower than the competition? Why shouldn't your quality and service be the standard versus the competitor's price? Remember, there's no such thing as a free lunch. If you offer more, you're completely justified in charging more. Be better prepared to deal with the price objection than the buyer is to object. Be proactive. Anticipate objections positively. Know that you may hear them. Plan accordingly. Whoever is better prepared, you or the buyer, emerges victorious in the negotiation. Ask thought-provoking questions. Whenever you're confronted with a price objection, go to the ask mode versus the tell mode. Determine what the customer is really saying. Probe for the motive behind the objection. For example, you could ask the buyer these questions. When you say we're higher, could you be more specific, please? Or, how is our price higher? Please elaborate for me. Or, what did you anticipate the price to be? Or you can say, is price your only reason for hesitating? Another thing is, when you say our price is higher, what are you comparing it to? And lastly, you can also say, are you talking about the purchase price or the ownership cost? The purpose of your clarifying the price objection is to understand exactly what the buyer is saying. Before you can respond to an objection, you must understand the buyer's point of view. Is this a real or contrived objection? Once you understand exactly what the buyer is saying, you can respond to the price objection in one of several ways outlined. One way is discounts. There are times when you're just going to have to discount. The key to your discounting is that it must be strategic, not accidental. Discount when it makes sense. If it fits your overall strategic plan and does not confuse the market, discounting could make sense. Discounting is a management and marketing decision, not a salesperson decision. Before you offer customer discounts, check with your management or marketing department to determine if the discount makes sense. When discounting, maintain your credibility by cutting something from your package to justify lowering your cost. Also, never give a discount without a firm commitment to buy. Otherwise, your buyer will shop your price with the competition. If the buyer is reluctant to give you this commitment, you didn't have the order to begin with. Never leave your discounts open-ended. Put a time limit on them so the buyer knows this will be an ongoing situation. Convey the message that it's a special pricing action for a special transaction. Next, you can change the package. Add value to the package or bundling, or remove something from the package, unbundling. Change the package in some fashion so that either the buyer feels better about the higher price or you feel better about lowering your price to meet the price objection. Next, you want to explain your value add. Reiterate the value add that your company brings to the table. Acknowledge the higher price and use it as a springboard to repeat your value-added benefits. For example, yes, our price is higher, and the reason we're higher in price is that we are higher in every critical area as well. You can't be high in those areas and low in price. It doesn't work that way in business. Explaining your value added is an educational process. You want buyers to realize that paying more means they will receive more benefits. This is a great time to review your VIP list with your buyer. These are all reasons why I believe we are the right choice for your company. Argue your case from the buyer's perspective. Use the reversal. If your back-end value is greater than the competitives, this is the ideal technique to use. For instance, Miss Buyer, if money is your real concern, that's exactly why you need to give our solution another look. When you look at our total value, you'll find the cost to own our product is considerably lower than the competition. And if that's the case, that's exactly why you should purchase our offering today. By using the buyer's argument to justify your position, you turned a price objection into a money justification. Next, you want to reassure the buyer. Buyers need assurance. They want assurance from you that paying more is a good idea. You can transmit this assurance in a number of ways. Some salespeople offer a personal guarantee. This makes great sense when the buyer knows that you plan to be in your territory for some time and you have to either deliver on your promises or suffer the consequences. Referring to the warranty or guarantee that your company offers is another way to reassure the buyer. Remember, however, that any time you stress your guarantee or product warranties, you want to promise complete buyer satisfaction, not just remedial action for the problem. And last, deal with them later. There are times when buyers simply want to think aloud. A buyer may raise a price reservation early in the conversation, but really not expect you to do anything about it. In this circumstance, you're better off not acknowledging it one way or the other. If it surfaces again later in the sales call, you will know it was a legitimate objection. Otherwise, it could be something as simple as the person thinking aloud. Salespeople live with price objections daily. For many salespeople, price resistance is the greatest obstacle they fight. If you enjoyed this video, then join my Business Mastery Insider Secrets Club. There you'll have access to all my business mastery systems, over 1,000 business strategy videos, over 100 hours of Business Mastery University courses. You'll access my 10 business assessment tools, my 12 business planning tools, the Small Business Makeover, the 120-day performance challenge, the 6-month internet blueprint, thousands of business articles, over 700 business templates, and over 100 of my favorite business strategy ebooks. All of this for just $29 a month for a limited time. So join now.